Welcome to the channel. Wars have shaped history, often fought for land, power, or resources. But one of the most unusual conflicts in human history was sparked over a wooden bucket. Yes, a bucket. This is the fascinating story of the War of the Bucket, a strange yet true medieval skirmish from 1325 between the Italian city-states of Modena and Bologna. Let's start with the backdrop. In the early 14th century, Italy wasn't a unified country as we know it today. Instead, it was a collection of fiercely independent city-states, each vying for power, influence, and territory. Among these were Modena and Bologna, located in northern Italy. Their rivalry was deeply rooted in political and ideological differences. Modena supported the Ghibellines, who aligned with the Holy Roman Emperor, while Bologna sided with the Guelphs, staunch supporters of the Pope. This rivalry wasn't just about politics. It was personal, heated, and often bloody. The animosity between the two cities simmered for years, but in 1325, it boiled over into outright war. And what was the catalyst for this war? A wooden bucket. The story goes that a group of Modenese soldiers sneaked into Bologna one night on a daring mission. They stole a wooden bucket from a well in the city center. Now, you might think, it's just a bucket. What's the big deal? But to the people of Bologna, this bucket wasn't just an ordinary object. It symbolized their civic pride and independence. Its theft was an insult, a blow to their honor that couldn't go unanswered. Outraged, the Bolognese declared war on Modena to retrieve the bucket and restore their dignity. What followed was the build-up to one of the most peculiar battles in history. Bologna assembled an enormous army of 32,000 men, determined to overwhelm their adversaries with sheer numbers. Meanwhile, Modena, though much smaller in population, gathered a force of about 7,000 soldiers. Despite being heavily outnumbered, the Modenese soldiers were well prepared, disciplined, and determined to defend their honor and their new trophy. The two armies met near Modena in the Battle of Zappolino. The scene was intense, with banners flying, swords clashing, and soldiers shouting battle cries. Bologna's army, confident in its size, launched an aggressive attack. But the Modenese forces were clever, using their knowledge of the terrain and well-planned tactics to outmaneuver the larger army. The battle was fierce, but surprisingly short. In a matter of hours, the Modenese managed to rout the Bolognese forces, sending them into a chaotic retreat. The smaller army's determination and strategy triumphed over the sheer numbers of Bologna. After their stunning victory, the Modenese didn't just celebrate. They rubbed salt in the wound. They paraded the stolen bucket through the streets of Modena, displaying it as a trophy of war. The bucket became a symbol of their triumph and defiance. According to legend, it's still kept in Modena's Torre della Ghirlandina, a historic bell tower, where it continues to remind visitors of this peculiar conflict. For Bologna, the war was a humiliating defeat. They not only failed to reclaim the bucket, but also suffered significant casualties and damage to their reputation. So, what can we take away from this odd chapter in history? On one hand, it's a story that shows the absurdity of human pride and rivalry. On the other, it reflects the intensity of medieval city-state politics, where even small provocations could spark large-scale conflicts. The War of the Bucket has since been immortalized in Italian folklore and literature. Remembered as one of history's strangest wars, it serves as a humorous yet poignant reminder of how even the smallest objects can carry immense symbolic weight. Now, let me ask you this. In today's world, could something as small as a bucket still spark conflict? Or have we moved beyond such rivalries? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating tales from history. See you next time.